listening to Rockers for Wildlife Radio with Paul Paget, only on LA Talk Radio.
Hey, it's Paul Paget. We're in the driver's seat today. Oh, my God. We have got a lineup for you all today. Very excited. I've got a wonderful friend, Greg Reitman. How's it going, brother?
Well, thanks, Paul.
Oh, my God. Man, we've had quite a journey since we met.
We have. Hawaii was good for us.
It was good for us, definitely. Anytime in Hawaii is good for us. And we've got Russ Neipert. How are you?
Well, I'm great, Paul. Thanks for having me, man.
Oh, man, anytime. What you been up to, brother?
Oh, what haven't I been up to?
Exactly. Well, we're going to talk about
Busy,
that.
Yeah, we're going to get into it. A lot of stuff, good stuff.
Dig it out, baby. And then we've got Kaylee Stallings. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, my gosh, I'm amazing. I'm just looking forward to hearing some of your music and all these wonderful things. I'm looking at so many things that you have done. We've got so much to talk about. I'll tell you, Greg, good Lord, you've got an amazing film, and you've got a release happening this week. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it's my latest film is called Rooted in Peace, and it'll be opening up at the Royal Emily in Santa Monica. We'll have our week run.
Nice.
And then on Friday night, December 2nd at 7 o'clock, we'll pretty much be having our big premiere Q&A, 187-seat theater, so hopefully people will be coming out, won't be empty. That's always
be
good,
there.
Right? You know, I never want an empty
I'll
theater.
be out there. Hey, Greg. Hey, there's a cloud.
No, I think there have been a couple of RSVPs that have come through. I think what's really good is, part of our strategy was, a lot of people want to just come into the LA or New York markets, and those are big markets.
Oh, yeah.
And so typically what you like to do is kind of like it's like surfing or diving. You kind of want to find that swell, and you kind of want to go, into middle. We went to Dallas. We went to a lot of different places before we actually came into LA and New York. I think that really helps.
Awesome.
Kind of work out the kinks.
Are you excited?
A little nervous. We get our reviews. It's our qualifying run for the 2017 Oscars. So we get our reviews in both the LA Times, and then 2 weeks after we'll be in New York. So we'll get a review in New York Times. So you just never know.
That's right.
What people think, and in our film, it's so. Some people walk out and they love it. Some people look at me and they're like, "Why I don't get it." Some people look at me and say, "Wow." So you just don't know what a critic is really going to think. I mean, the people that have seen it, like people like David Lynch, have written great testimonials, and other people, that have also given great accolades. But critics are critics.
That's right.
The only thing I know that's going for me is that Donald Trump is the president-elect.
Absolutely.
So I think that the value of the film and the stock of the film might have gotten up a little bit.
Absolutely. I'll guarantee it did. Russ, what's going on, brother?
Oh, man, Paul. Well, let's see. Most recently, we've, first of all, I'm with Paris 5000 Music and Film, as you know. So everybody out there, check us out. We just are wrapping up a Christmas CD. It's a never-before-been-done project.
I heard there's some pretty amazing people on there.
We are so blessed because we came up with this idea literally 2 months ago.
Wow.
And we're now releasing the CD on the 6th of December.
Crazy.
We've got 4 generations of international music artists, including Pat Boone, our senior citizen.
Ambrosia.
Yeah, Ambrosia. We've got Frida Payne. We've got David Crosby, which is Bing Crosby's grandson.
Wow.
And
nice.
of course, we have my girl Kaylee
here.
Hey.
Who's one of our American artists on it. We've got Brazil, Ecuador, Mexico, Italy, the Philippines, China. We actually have 2 artists from China. One is a 6-year-old little girl.
Adorable.
Absolutely incredible. She sings Santa Claus is Coming to Town, and it's just adorable. I mean, it's probably going to be my favorite on the whole album, to tell you the truth. And myself and my partner Michael Durio wrote the title track, which is an original Christmas song called Christmas Around the World. Kaylee sings it. We're really proud of it. We think we're hoping it might become a new standard.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, it's
nice.
It's good. So that's it. I mean, that's most recent. And then we've got Kaylee's got her album that came out a couple months ago. And we had a meeting last night with one of the other artists on the album, Abby Kubay from the Philippines, on our Christmas album. And she's got some people coming from the Philippines who are multi-platinum artists, and they're touring the U.S., and they want Kaylee to open a few shows for her.
Nice.
So she'll be opening here in L.A. in late February, and then in Vegas right after that. So there's a lot happening.
No
Lot going
kidding.
on.
We're in
Exciting.
Vegas.
We're not sure yet. It's going to be, what did she mention? I think she said Chumash and I can't remember that. One of the
Okay,
casinos.
that's
Yeah,
great.
a couple of
though.
the casinos are going
Are you
on.
legally
Yeah.
allowed to go into the casino?
That's
Well,
the
I'm
question.
17, so we'll see. Yeah, that's a very good question.
Better get a fake ID.
It is Vegas. That's
know
all
how
I
to do
gotta
that.
say.
Definitely a fake ID. So, young lady, are you excited?
I'm very excited. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Wow.
It's a bit overwhelming. It's been crazy. It's like
Right.
everything's just happening all of a sudden, and it's really great.
Are you in 12th grade?
No, I'm actually in 11th. I'm a junior.
No kidding.
Yeah, but I'm homeschooled, so it's
Oh,
like every
perfect.
grade's been the same for
Exactly.
me. It's like I don't have any like big special thing when I'm getting to be a senior. I'm
Right.
just still at home, you know.
Do you miss being at a school?
I've been homeschooled pretty much my whole life.
Oh,
I went
perfect.
to preschool, but I don't think that really counts. I was like 5.
Finger painting and picking
Yeah,
your nose?
exactly. Highlight of my life.
No, I think she makes up for the school lack with the youth group at the church.
Right, yeah.
That's
I have
awesome.
2 youth
Yeah.
groups that I go to
no kidding.
all the time. Yeah.
Well, that makes up for it totally.
Right,
I'm loving it.
definitely.
You know what I want you to do? We're going to take this and drive it right out of the gate. Why don't you grab your guitar?
All right.
And let's shake this up a little bit. You know what? There it is. You know what? We are going to have her sing Christmas Around the World. This is the title track. Is that the song you're going to do?
Well, I was actually planning on doing one of the ones off.
Okay,
my album,
sorry
yeah.
about that. You're going to hear that on the hard release. I have it sitting here, and I was really looking forward to heaaring it.
Darn,
so, you
man.
know what? I'll just have to wait December
We,
6th.
we haven't even premiered that one yet. So yeah, December 6th.
Yeah.
December 6th.
That's
I
good
thought-
though. It gives you a little,
Ooh, yeah.
a little time.
That's
If I
right.
had my keyboard with me, I'd play it.
So, you play keyboard too?
I do. I started teaching myself about, like 2 or 3 years ago.
Nice.
So I play a little bit.
Awesome.
I dabble.
How long you been playing guitar?
I think I started when I was 9, so it's been a while.
Nice.
Yeah,
You enjoy it?
I do. It's one of my favorite things. I just like being able to make music. I have a lot of friends who can only sing to tracks when they perform live, and it's hard, and I like to be able to create the music, you know.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
where I'm at with it. What's the name of the song?
This is called 10 Years in the Making.
10 Years in the Making. All right, here we go. Kaylee Stallings, 10 Years in the Making. Here you go.
What should I say? I forgot. Go ahead and sue me for all that I'm not. I make mistakes just like you. Only difference is I got to prove. So my life is a test by light, so my chest teacher gives me an up no matter how I try. Sick of the lies and all the fake smiles and the you sing nice girl but don't get a lie. Can't wait for the time when I say, hey, looks like I made it. This one's for all those times that you said this would never be. Hey, looks like I made it. And it's everything that I hoped and a dream. Hey, looks like I made it. This one's for all those times that you said this would never be. Hey, looks like I made it. And it's everything that I hoped. 10 years in the making. My life is not about you. Think that I quit, that I give up myself. No, I will fight through it all, and I never give in to the pressure I face. 'Cause my life is a test by light, so my chest teacher gives me enough no matter how I try. Sick of the lies and all the fake smiles and the you sing nice girl but go get a life. Can't wait for the time that I say, hey, looks like I made it. This one's for all those times that you said this would never be. Hey, looks like I made it. And it's everything that I hoped and a dream. Hey, looks like I made it. This one's for all those
loving that.
Thank you.
It's like a private audition,
Gosh,
right?
no kidding. Nice. That's gorgeous. So when did you write that?
Oh my gosh, I think I wrote that.
10 years in the making?
Yeah, 10 years ago. I was 7. No. I wrote it about a year or 2 ago, I would think. Something like that.
And how did that come about?
Well, see, I have a weird kind of style for writing. Things come to me at like 2 in the morning.
Right.
And so if I try and write, I sit there for hours
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm like writer's block to the tens. But if I just like, I'm falling asleep and then I'm just like 10 years in the making, boom, grab my phone, got it.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's how that kind of came about.
Did you hear the music at the same time?
Sometimes it depends. I usually, once I get a lyric, I'll grab my guitar and
Right.
figure it out.
Nice. What's your favorite song that you've got? I see that you've got Reverb Nation. You've got Beautiful, Crescendo, Gone, Might Have Stayed, The Only One, and Dig. All those originals?
Yes, all of those except Dig are all originals.
Nice. We might have to play one of those.
Definitely.
Yeah, I pulled
I
them
love
up
that.
just to give everybody a music snack.
Alrighty.
I think didn't you write the one when you were like 8?
Yeah, I wrote Might Have Stayed when I was 7 or 8. It was the first song I ever wrote.
Amazing.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah, I was really nervous to tell my mom. And then I think one time we were sitting in a Walmart parking lot. And I was like, Mom, I wrote a song. And so there we go. I sang the chorus of that, and that's how that kind of came about.
Handed it to her in finger painting.
Yeah,
Here's how I wrote it.
I drew a stick figure next to it.
I love it. All over. Mom, it's all over the wall. Good job, honey. Russ, oh my God. Tell me a little bit about your past. I want to know what happened over about the last 5 or 10 years. What brought you here?
Okay, well, I got into this crazy industry because of my son, my youngest son. I have a lot of kids. My youngest son, who's now almost 15, he kind of got discovered, if you will, when he was 5, and he auditioned for a acting school called The Playground in Century City, which you have to audition to get in. They loved him, took him in.
Nice.
6 months later, he had a manager, which is how we met Kaylee, actually, because she was being managed at the time by the same guy.
Right.
And
What was the guy?
we don't really want to go. He's no longer in the business.
He's at
but
Burger King now.
He was actually extremely instrumental in both my son and Kaylee's career.
Definitely.
Wow.
Definitely. But unfortunately, he did some things he should not have done.
Sure.
So I started managing Matthew, my son, about 3.5 years ago, and I knew Kaylee for a long time, and I've been watching her, and everybody was telling me, boy, Russ, you're doing such a great job with Matthew, because Matthew's had pretty good success as an actor.
Right.
And they say, you should do this for other people. So I started my company, A&M Promotions, doing management and mostly PR work
Right.
for the main part. But it's now transgressed and transcended into management, talent management. And
Right.
I currently have 7 clients. I've got Kaylee, my son. I've got 5 adult clients.
Nice.
2 very good actors, Tom Proctor, one of them, and James Chalk, another. And then I've got a couple of young people in their early 20s who are up and comers. And I started off a few years ago going to all these Hollywood events. I start going to after parties and just networking. And like I met you, and I've met so many great people in this industry, and I've weeded out the wannabes and those that aren't
Exactly.
really in the industry from those who are.
Purge.
And it's brought me here.
Absolutely.
And I'm really blessed and very proud to be part of her career and on this journey with her. We've got some big things planned for Kaylee in 2017, and we're hoping that at the 60th Grammys, she'll be up there on that stage accepting. So
That'd be so nice.
we've got some major, major plans for this girl coming
I am loving it. You've got to be super excited.
I am.
Holy
I am.
mackerel.
Yeah, 10 years of acting, and everything is just kind of like happening all at once, and it's been crazy.
Yeah, well, I wanted to add, we didn't even talk. She's extremely talented, obviously, as a music artist, but she's also a very talented actress. And
Yes.
she currently has 2 feature films out. One's called The Martial Arts Kid, and the other is Breaking Legs. Good stuff, so everybody out there, check those out. And back to the Christmas CD for a second. I wanted to mention that we've got some really good charities that we're talking with right now that are supporting and sponsoring this CD. One of them being Music Cares at the Grammy Foundation.
Nice.
We're not inked yet, but we're right there. Probably going to happen today.
Love it.
And then Ronald McDonald House is on board. We've
You've got Ronald McDonald
We've
House?
got Ronald McDonald
In
House.
what capacity?
We're going to be supporting them by giving a portion of the sales of the CD to Ronald McDonald House Pasadena.
That's
and
fantastic.
they're allowing us to use their logo and so on too.
Sweet.
My mom knits,
Yeah.
and gives,
Yeah.
that's a big charity.
Well, I kind of got my foot in the door there because of my son Matthew. He's done the Walk for Kids every year and been a team leader.
Okay.
So they knew us, they knew me, and I called her up and I said, hey, we got this Christmas CD and we're looking, and she said, wow, that sounds amazing. So everybody who sees what's going on with this Christmas CD is just blown away. And
So how do the charities, how do they fit in? What's their incentive behind the CD?
Well, to get, number one, it's going to give them exposure to a very large audience because this is a global project.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got, and all the artists are on board to promote and market it in their respective countries.
I see.
Nice.
So it's a big deal. for
No
the charities.
kidding.
Yeah. And, we're trying to be as generous and benevolent as we can with
Right.
everything. But, it's funny when we start getting these people attached and wanting to be a part, everybody's knocking on the door.
Right.
I mean, I'm getting text messages and emails from everybody and their brother who's like, oh, what are you doing? I want to be part of this. And it's like, well, maybe next year. We got to
Exactly.
close the door at some point and move on.
How'd
But,
you end up with Ambrosia?
that was Michael's doing. He knew them from some project before. I'm not sure what it was, but the Ambrosia and Free to Pain both, where Michael brought them on board. And then I actually was kind of involved with Pat Boone because I have a friend from years back who started a company called Music of what is it? I'm blanking on it.
I thought you might have bought one of those bathtubs
No,
that he
but
does.
I'm sorry, and I apologize. I apologize, Mark Angel, if you're out there listening. I think it was Music of Life. I think that's
Gotcha.
what it was. And Pat Boone was their ambassador to begin with back then.
Did he
And-
try to sell you a bathtub?
No.
I had to throw that in. That last time I've seen him was on that commercial.
Was that a walk-in?
Yeah, the little walk-in door.
Yeah, but everything that it's just Michael and I sometimes talk and we're just shaking our head, going, "This is unbelievable."
Wow.
We just 2.5 months ago we came up with this idea,
Insane.
and look where we are.
No
So
kidding.
we're really excited about next year because this is going to open the door for a lot more bigger and better things next year.
Oh yeah.
So it's all good.
No
All good.
kidding. What a blessing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And then I've also, the music's one aspect, but I also, one of my other passions is film, because of my son. And we actually wrote a script for him to star in, and it's been sitting on the shelf for almost 4 years because I've been so busy with everything else.
Right.
But now that things are starting to fall into place, we're going to readdress that and try and get that going again.
Awesome. Is that one you're producing,
Yeah.
filming everything?
Yeah.
And what's that about?
Beautiful.
That's it's actually, there was a show that Disney did back in the early 60s. In fact, we had to go through Disney Legal to make sure that there weren't any problems, and they had
Right.
released it. It was called Swamp Foxes, and it's based on a real American Revolutionary War hero called, his name was Francis Marion, but he became known as the Swamp Fox because he was down in the South Carolinas and very intelligent general in the war. And what we came up with was my son's going to play a dual role of his 8th removed great-grandson living in nowadays time, and then also the role of Francis Marion as a teenager back in the 1740s.
Wow.
And through the magic of time travel, Matthew gets blasted back to his grandfather's time.
Wow.
And it's a whole adventure thing with pirates and all kinds of good stuff.
Pirates
Fun.
do well.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. But
Absolutely.
and I have a very, very talented scriptwriter by the name of Suzanne Azarella. She used to be in television out here, and now she's retired and living in Kansas. And she's
Wow,
the
quite
main
a-
writer on this, and she's just done a fabulous job. So.
Quite a change going to Kansas.
Yeah.
She get caught in a tornado?
No. Yes,
Have you ever been to
I
Kansas
joke with her
before?
about
I
that.
have.
all
I
the
lived in
time.
Oklahoma, dude.
I'm just
Yeah.
teasing.
I was there once and got out of there. No.
Yeah, I've been through Oklahoma with Will Rogers Turnpike
Oh, yeah.
many times.
Yeah, I had to pack up my teepee and get the Buffalo to move out here. I just couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah.
36 years there, and I'm done.
Yeah.
Count me out. I'm a California boy.
How long have you been out here?
15 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I came from Missouri, and I've been out here longer than I care to admit, because I moved out here when I was in high school, and I'm a grandpa now. So
No kidding. Are you still excited about L.A.? Like you?
I'm excited about the industry and the opportunities right now. As far as L.A. and living in L.A., it's tough.
You aren't kidding. It is.
I mean, it's just you can't get anywhere without allowing an hour, even if you're going 10 miles.
Brutal.
It is. It's unbelievable. And I think my future lies in what my brother did. He moved down Valley Center north of San Diego, and he was an LA guy. And he said, you know what, I'm done here.
Yep, I lived down there. It was nice.
Yeah, it's nice. I go down, my son and I go down there about once every couple of months just to escape. And it's beautiful down there.
Oh, yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk to Greg for a second. I see Rooted in Peace is an amazing film, but you've actually got some other things that you have done also. You've got your production company. Tell me a little bit about that and how that came about.
Blue Water Entertainment was founded in Australia. I was just talking about that yesterday to these people who are water keepers. I think it was about 20 years ago, where I had this idea that I wanted to make films, and I was out in the Blue Mountains in Sydney, Australia, and that sort of came forward, and then that journey of me, that passion, I would say, in terms of figuring out how to make films, and then eventually going to UCLA at night for 2 years, and then making my first film on Catalina Island, Hollywood's magical island. Yeah.
One of my favorite places.
Yes.
Tons of diving over there.
A lot of diving, and it really is sort of the backstone, or sort of the backyard for the Playground of the Stars, which I was a history major at UMass Amherst, so it all sort of made sense. I was a diver, I was up in Malibu, so these kelp forests, which we found out are only endemic in Southern California.
Yep.
And then when we did a little bit of research about the history of Catalina Island, it was really a crown jewel, by the Wrigley family, who built the first motion theater for acoustic sound in the world before Radio City Music Hall. So the idea of telling that story as my first film was really exciting.
That's Casino Point, isn't it?
That is Casino Point, actually.
I love it.
Yeah, and then we went on and then made another film called Fuel, which won the Audience Award at Sundance. It's interesting when you think about it. I don't think I'd do another documentary now after this.
All right.
I think my doc days are over.
What was Fuel about?
Fuel was a very controversial film. It was looking at our addiction to oil. And JP, who our mutual friend was one of our executive producers, who was involved in that film. And it was really looking at just the impact. It's interesting now what's going on with the Keystone Pipeline and what's going on in the Dakotas. The idea of energy. We really took on the energy industry, Josh Tickell and I, and it was really a deep, probing film and really understanding about how addicted we are to our oil and how dependent we are to our oil. And you walk out of that movie theater, and what we found was a lot of moms were buying Priuses, which was sort of a very interesting trend, because Toyota stock was going up, and it was like, oh yeah, such a fascinating, the hybrids. And meanwhile, we had a decent P&A budget, $1.5 million plus to put out our movie. For a documentary film is a lot. And we were noticing everywhere we were going, Seattle, Portland, other cities, there was just a mass amount of people would walk out of the theater, and that's how they would wrestle with the issue. Right. That was the one thing that they could realize where they could make a difference.
Wow, you have to have Toyota give you a kickback now.
We should have.
Give you a free Prius.
Instead, we ended up going for the tequila company, but it's okay.
Hey, that's not too bad.
It's interesting though. I think like even now, with my new film, I think that's sort of the challenge. It's like you always want that sort of progressive brand like Patagonia or a company that sort of stands out, but sometimes those dollars aren't there.
That's right. Know that.
Hard
and strong.
So you really got to go with the flow, and you got to make it work. I mean, it's interesting. Even now at our party, at our after party at the Bodhi Tree, we have a liquor sponsor, and I'm kind of like, we're never going to stop drinking. It's okay.
That's right.
You know what I mean? I guess it comes to a certain point of what is the correct measure, right? And then some people don't drink at all. So
true. We can always do a margarita.
Yeah.
Bank on that. So you aren't going to do documentaries. So where are you heading?
Well, it's interesting. Yeah, I know. So I've been moving. I know it's an interesting question because there have been a bunch of docs that have sort of crossed my desk, and they just take a lot of time and a lot of energy.
Oh,
and,
yes.
and I think that, like, if you're going to spend 4 years on a journey, you really want to make sure it's fruitful. And, being married now, things have sort of changed. Really looking more at narratives, and we have a sci-fi movie now that we're looking at as a pilot for television.
Sweet.
And now with Netflix and Hulu and other digital channels, that kind of content becomes much more, it's much more commercial.
Right.
And then also looking at live event production.
Hmm.
So we did our first one in Central Park. I know I did my first live event in Central Park.
That's awesome.
In September this year, raised a little bit of money in Hawaii.
Yep.
Right enough where we met. And I think we're going to do another one again in 2017 in the same place on September 21st. Can't really announce that artist yet.
Right.
But that's all coming forward as well. And that park is nice. It'll hold about 2,000 people. It's the International Day of Peace. So we still have our relationships with the United Nations. We still do our philanthropy.
Right.
And I think what bringing a musician and artist, all that does will just bring that story forward.
Oh, yeah.
And how important I think peace is. I think we all take it for granted.
Boy, you nailed that on the head. Let's see. Is somebody trying to call me? Oh, it popped off there. You know what? We've got our friends at Standing Rock. I don't know if anybody's been paying attention or not. I want to segue for just a second.
Sure.
And reach out to these people out there.
Sure.
It is horrible. It's a travesty what's going on up there. This is peaceful protesting. They're being shot with bullets. They're being sprayed with crystallized water.
Yeah. It's horrible.
Percussion bombs. In fact, I heard that one girl had to have her leg amputated.
Yeah, no, I mean, it got to the forefront. It was really interesting. We were at the Emma Awards down at Warner Brothers, and we realized that no major media, ABC, NBC, Fox, nobody's been covering Standing Rock. And for me, that was sort of like a real wake-up call.
Right.
To really understand like how much has been suppressed.
Oh, yeah.
And now if you look at with Facebook and internet, you see Bobby Kennedy Jr., he's out there.
Oh, yeah.
Bonnie Raitt's out there.
Mm-hmm.
They're now, the migration has become.
Oh, yeah.
But still, even, you don't see CNN. I still haven't seen Anderson Cooper yet,
Right.
plug in yet. I'm still saying why and what is it that he's not? Like, why won't he broadcast it?
Governmental control. Yeah. It has to be. Otherwise, it would be a main topic. I mean, this is happening on United States soil. They were locking people in dog cages. This is nuts.
Yeah, but even Neil Young came out, though, today on Facebook and pleaded with Barack Obama, asked him to take action. I mean, that's what's really interesting about musicians and as artists. They have so much pull.
Right.
They have so much an ability to really bring things to the forefront. And I think that's just what we need. It's going to be the musicians that are really going to rise. I mean, even with Fuel, when we made it, we had Willie Nelson, Neil Young in that film. I mean,
Sweet.
yeah, but
Awesome
that
that.
really, if you think about it, when people showed up and you say, okay, Willie Nelson, Neil Young, and Sheryl Crow, people are going to want to show up and see your movie.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And then some.
Yeah.
Yeah. A shout out to everybody at Standing Rock. Hey, we're still here helping support you and keeping your voice alive. Call in if you can. Lori, I know you're out there probably. Doug, you're out there. Call in. Let's hear what's going on the front line today. I just wanted to give you all a shout out. We've been covering this for weeks and weeks on end, and they've come in, and it's been amazing, the support that we've been garnering now. So it's time for a change. Come on, Barack Obama. Let's do it. Good Lord. Somebody, or Trump, come in and Trump this thing.
But even now, like I've seen my friend John Seidel, Laura Turner's son, he's been out there. There have been a lot of people that have been going, Mickey Willis. I mean, there are a lot of change agents. I think what's really interesting now with our phones, we can record, we can put on Facebook, we can actually show. It becomes more like in your living room, you actually can watch what's going on with Standing Rock. But I don't know. I don't really understand why it won't be reported.
I don't get it. I'm just stunned with the whole
Well,
thing.
greed. I shouldn't say that.
Well,
I do get it. It's all
yeah,
about
yeah.
It's all about commerce
greed.
and
There's
greed.
probably some big
Oh,
oil
yeah.
companies behind that too, I'm sure.
And what's jacked up is that they're going to continually stand out there with that pipeline, regardless of if they take it out or not. They are going to protect that area, and it's going to be a constant. I don't see how it's going to end because that's their sacred ground there. They don't want it there.
Right.
And it's got to, we could get off into a water conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, we're a water planet, not a land planet. Oh, yeah. People forget about that. We don't have that much water left. Believe it or not, covered by 70%, and only 3% is fresh water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it really perplexes me when I really think about Standing Rock. Why CNN hasn't covered it?
Oh, yeah. Well,
Like,
I'd say
what is it
the
that they,
thumb
what
is
is it that they can't expose? Like,
Right.
you know, what is it? Are Native Indians, they're just not, like, are they not Americans? Like, I guess that's my question I would say to them. Like, why wouldn't they cover it?
right.
You know?
Hey, you know what? We might have them calling in. Hang on a second. Hey, who do we have on the phone?
Hey, Paul, it's Lori.
Hey, how you doing? How are you at Standing Rock?
No, I'm back from Europe for 2 weeks.
Oh, you're breaking up on me.
Oh, I'm breaking up?
Yep.
Sorry. I'm back from Standing Rock for 7 days, and then I'm heading back on Saturday.
Wow. So you were there for Thanksgiving?
Yep, there for Thanksgiving. We fed 3,000 people in a magical setting.
Wow, good for
Oh
you.
man, that is awesome. So you right before you left, it was getting ready to get freezing cold. So I see that it did. Everybody weathering the storms.
They are. Everybody really is weathering the storms, even against all of the opposition and the governmental stuff that's saying, hey, don't send help. Literally, the message has been, don't send help. Red Cross was told to pull 100 cots for overflow safety reasons, for overflow. And then Red Cross said, well, we don't want to be in the middle. So basically, they pulled a committed 100 cots for the people.
Oh my Lord! Wow,
Yeah.
it's insanity. How's Doug doing
It is
out there?
insanity. He's good. I think he woke up in total snow, sent snowman pictures today. Loving it. Like it's crazy and cold, and they are coming together, and they're expecting a couple thousand veterans to show up
Yeah, that was
this
the
coming
thing.
weekend.
The veterans are coming out now.
I love
Yeah,
it.
no, I
You know
saw
what?
that.
The veterans. That's Greg Reitman. He was talking
Lori.
about that. You might.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it's getting the veterans out there is going to be key. I think that's going to be very important. You see any positive stuff going on out there?
Okay, so what's positive is everything that happens at camp is magical.
Oh yeah.
The people that come together
You're breaking up real bad on me, Lori.
by Thanksgiving, we had about 10,000 people at camp.
Wow.
People, camp was it grew to its biggest numbers ever. It was cold, but people traveled, miles. We had a chef who came from Massachusetts, and he fed, he was planning to feed 500 people. When he heard what we were doing, we combined efforts, and he basically took on managing the ability to feed 3,000 people. This high school on Standing Rock opened their doors up and said, hey, come on in. We opened their showers up, they opened their gym, and we fed 3,000 protectors, and we offered warmth and music and drumming and gourmet chef prepared food, because some of these people have been on the ground for months,
Oh yeah.
not left. And they got showers. People were showing up with their little kids. A
Wow.
shower. I'm so excited about a warm shower.
Oh.
You know what? That's the beauty. That is the magic of Standing Rock.
Absolutely.
The only thing that's not beautiful at Standing Rock are the people who are oppressors and trying to say, we're not going to help you, we're not going to save you, we're not going to come after you. I mean, literally, that's what we're reading. The governor saying, yep, don't offer help. If they say they're on their own, we're not going to go in and rescue them. We'll not send in help. What?
What the hell is wrong with America? I don't get it. I'm stunned. This is crazy.
Everything that's happening at Standing Rock is what's right with America, though. That's the beauty. Everything that's happening is what's right with America.
You got that right, just on the opposition side that it's not right.
Right, exactly. But they're not at Standing Rock, right?
Nope.
They're standing against Standing Rock. So the people who are there worldwide, whether they're there physically or just spiritually or emotionally, they are with Standing Rock. They're standing with them, and that's what's right with the world.
I am loving it. Anybody on the panel want to shout out to anybody out there? Anybody know anybody there?
Mickey Willis, I think, is out there. So I just met some people yesterday. We were having dinner. They just all came back from Standing Rock, and Mickey was out there. And
Nice.
the guy there took a picture of me and sent it to Mickey. And I think Chris Lindstrom's out there. Bobby Kennedy Jr.'s out there. I mean, you watch it every day on
Yep.
Facebook. I literally see about 10 or 20 people
Yeah.
out there. What I think was really great about Standing Rock, it's almost like a migration now. It's almost like
Exactly.
everyone needs to go now.
Yep, absolutely.
Yes.
You know what,
It's-
Lori?
It's
Lori,
really part of your activism if you don't go now.
That's exactly
you know?
right.
And I think that seeing Bonnie Raitt and seeing Jackson Brown and really elevating just the voices for these people, I think is just critical.
Absolutely. Lori, we appreciate everything you're doing out there. Is there anything we can do from our end for you?
Well, we're still doing, the fundraising. There's lots of fundraising efforts. Shailene and I have got our own thing with Thrive, action.org. We've been buying Tarpies and even an ATV, the medics. So what we're doing is trying to serve security, the medics, the firekeepers, and the kitchens who are serving all, whether it's 1,000 people at camp or 10,000 people at camp. Those 4 factions need to be. So we've been purchasing even, they vehicles to be able to get from tent to tent, in timely manner. So we're doing a lot of winterizing stuff that works with the safety. So, and there's a lot of people doing a lot of fundraising, and it's all going. I don't know exactly what everybody's doing, but I know everybody's hearts are in the right place. So if you're supporting Standing Rock at all, you know what, you're on the right side of history, and we're grateful for you.
Absolutely. Well, we're always here for you. And do me a favor, every Wednesday, please do call in. We want to keep this topic alive. We want to hear what's going on out there. And we appreciate everything you're doing and love you dearly. Tell everybody we said hi, and be safe out there. And we'll talk to you soon, Lori.
I'll do that, and I'll call next week from Standing Rock.
Oh, I'm loving it. And see if you can maybe get a few of the leaders possibly on board, too. We'd love to talk to some
I'll do
people.
that.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
May I chime in
All right.
one
Yeah,
second?
well, yeah.
All
Russ.
Hi, Lori. This is Russ with Paris 5000 Music and Film, and I just want to let you know.
Russ.
I just want to let you know. God bless you and everybody out there for what they're doing, standing up at Standing Rock, and if there's, I'm thinking for the people like myself who can't be there, if there is a way that they can send either food, clothing, blankets, whatever is needed, if there's an address that could be sent to that you could find out, and maybe we can have Paul here throw
we'll
that out
post
on
it.
the air, and we'll post it on our sites as well to show our
I can
show our
send that to
support.
Paul. Paul, I can send you an address where they are collecting things like, Sub-Zero sleeping bags. They need the heaviest stuff that keep people the warmest. So Sub-Zero sleeping bags is a big one. Heavy down coats. Some things, there's just a lot of things that's just extra that people can't use. But heavy blankets, the Sub-Zero stuff, those are the things that they need that people can send. And then the things like like literally snow vehicles, or the fireplaces that are inside the teepees or the tarpies, the army tents. I mean, those are bigger items that it takes kind of a bigger order for. I mean, it's so funny. The yurt companies have more yurts ordered right now than they ever have in the history of yurt making. So it's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. Yes, please share that address, and I'll get it out to everybody, and we will make sure to start getting supplies pulled together. And if there's anything you need in the interim, please give me a ring.
Great. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, everybody. Have a beautiful day.
Take care
Lori.
of you too, Lori.
Talk to you next
Lori.
week
Take
from
care.
Dakota.
Be safe.
Bye-bye.
I'd love to comment on that. It's so interesting. We think about the war like in the Middle East and Syria and the refugees going
Right.
into Europe and like what's going on in like Iraq and Afghanistan. But we don't even think about the war that's going on right here in America.
It's insane.
in
Well,
Standing
and we
Rock,
send so many dollars in personnel to these other countries, and what are we doing for our own people here?
Yeah.
Right. It's a joke.
Yeah.
It's
Well-
insane.
Well, they just said that, I think someone was mentioning, like with Trump, with the corporate tax, that $3 trillion is now going to be coming back into the country by that one law.
Wow.
Just by by corporations being taxed 35%
Oh, yeah.
for manufacturing outside of the U.S.
I'm
by
loving it.
bringing that back into America, we now bring our GDP back by $3 trillion, which it really gives you an idea. We still have what, 19 trillion in debt, but
Yeah.
the idea that how we're going to get it down, how we're going to build it, but
Brilliant.
even there's not even that. Just what
Wow.
are we doing in Standing Rock? Like, what is this? Like, when are we? I mean, we have this thing called the sun. It wakes up every day.
Right.
It actually wakes us up every day.
That's right.
It's free. We can make energy out of it. We can put it on our house.
Yep.
I mean, we can totally make energy in such a more resilient way.
Right.
Why do we need to extract? That's the
Exactly.
question I don't get. Like, what is it about our human nature that just wants us to keep taking? So what? I mean, what was the
Well,
film?
until
that
we
was-
destroy our planet, and then what?
Yeah, what was that great
That's it.
film? Dr.
You nailed it.
Seuss. What was the one with the trees?
Oh, the Lorax.
The Lorax, right? You know, did we
There you
not like
go.
see the Lorax? Are we living our own Lorax? I mean, come on. You know?
Absolutely. I totally get it. You know what? Let's change the mood here a little bit. Let's go to a song. So, Beautiful Crescendo, Gone, Might Have Stayed, The Only One, or Dig? Which one?
Oh my goodness. We'll do Beautiful Crescendo.
Beautiful. This is Kaylee Stallings, and we are shifting into overdrive, baby. Here it is.
That was a good move.
I have to say it is.
Lights run down this road, not checking where he goes. It may lead to greener meadows or a beautiful crescendo. She was an uptight kind of girl. She never let her head down and took a second to look around. He was a crazy kind of boy, the life of every party, but with no responsibility. She said, I won't go anywhere if you leave. You're no good, I can see it in your eyes. So do you even want from me? I should walk out right now, but I can't seem to say goodbye. You told her lights and now this road, not checking where it goes. It may lead to greener meadows or a beautiful crescendo. If you stop now, let me pass you by. It's just way too short to go stand back and comply. So let's run down this road, but one's not checking where it goes. She's got the weight of the world, and it always seems to bring her down. Living in a lonely ghost town. He's got a smile that lights the skies, and a laugh that could take her breath away. As she's stumbling for words to say, she said, I won't go anywhere if you leave. You're no good, I can see it in your eyes. Or do you even want from me? I should walk out right now, but I can't seem to say goodbye. Lights run down this road, not checking where it goes. It may lead to greener meadows or a beautiful crescendo. If you stop now, let me pass you by. It's just way too short to go stand back and comply. So let's run down this road, one's not checking where it goes. When he looked into her eyes, and her heart stops speechless, she feels a love they can't deny. Let's run down this road, not checking where it goes. It may lead to greener meadows or a beautiful crescendo. If you stop now, let me pass you by. It's just way too short to go stand back and comply. So let's run down this road, one's not checking
beautiful crescendo. Where'd that song come from?
Oh my gosh, I don't even remember. I think I was probably another one where it was like 2 a.m. Yeah, actually thinking back, it was like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I was just like, you know what? I should write a song. And then I was like, a beautiful crescendo, and then the whole rest of it kind of fell into
Bam.
place. Yeah.
Boy, you'd work in the middle of the night. You got to have the rest of the world go to
I
sleep
know,
and
I'm a
get
night
creative.
owl. Yeah.
I love it. Well, I think that's us as musicians and
It's true.
artists.
It's true. Yeah.
Definitely.
And luckily being homeschooled, I don't have to wake up at like 7 in the morning every day.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's nice.
Nice.
It's good.
So how much of workload do you have with school?
It's not too bad. It's not too bad. It's good because if I have any last minute auditions, I'm able to just like pick up and go. So it is nice. And I'm thinking about, because I'm going to be graduating next year, I'm thinking about doing some online courses with like, because it's so hard to just pick everything up and go to a college and, you know what I mean? Especially
So
with
difficult.
being, 18 to 23, 24. It's like the prime time as an actor, especially, especially because I look younger. And
That's
I
a
am
good thing.
5'1" on a good day. So so I can play younger. So it's nice. It's a good age.
You are just a bright, shining star. I'm
Thank you.
just really impressed with your music, definitely.
I appreciate it.
So what's your favorite song of hers, Russ?
Wow, that's tough. There's a song on her Just Kaylee album called You Can Do It. And I love it because I know the backstory on it. Kaylee's mom is a charge nurse at LA Children's Hospital, and Kaylee spends time there playing for the kids and visiting, and she wrote that song "You Can Do It" based on her, inspired by those visits. And Greg, when you listen to that album, you now that you know the backstory, when you hear that song, you're just gonna go, "Wow!"
Just Kaylee right here.
Yep.
When did you do this one? Is this the latest one?
Yeah, this was
That's their Christmas album, right?
No,
No,
actually,
no.
this
No,
is
no.
just my first full-length album. I had an EP that I released back in like 2014,
Yeah.
and then a single which was "Beautiful Crescendo." And then
We
this is my first
actually have
full-length.
a method to our madness here. We did a soft release on that CD on October 21st, and it's going to ride the coattails of the Christmas CD. We've got a
Nice.
major marketing plan with that. So,
How do you go out and market a CD these days? Is there people buying CDs or is it all digital?
it's both, and it's going to be available both ways. So, it's a lot of social media push. And the key, especially with the Christmas album, I think the key is going to be having all these artists involved.
Oh, yeah.
And we've got pretty much all of their endorsement on it, so it's really exciting. And then also, if we do manage to get Music Cares heavily involved and things like that, they're all big pluses. But I personally, when I first started my company, A&M Promotions, that's what I did. I just promoted everybody, my clients, whatever was going on, their films, their projects. So I know how to weave my way around and hit the right people. And meeting Paul and being here to promote on LA Talk Radio.
There you go.
That's one avenue. We've been on Hollywood Close Up. We're looking at getting Kaylee and Abby on the Ellen Show, hopefully,
Sweet.
fingers crossed. So there's a whole lot of things going on, and it's just a matter of saturation.
That's
You know,
it.
You just got to keep pushing and saturating as much as you can.
Absolutely.
And eventually, I think when this album gets out and people start to hear it, it's word of mouth.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be a lot of word of mouth because it's good. It's really good
Nice. I
material.
can't wait to hear it. I noticed that you're a lyricist on quite a few of these songs.
I've been writing lyrics since 1975.
He said he was a writer. Did you
No
heard it?
kidding.
He
Well,
wrote- he
I
wrote
didn't know
a
if it was a
screenplay.
book or
Yeah,
screenplays.
He does it
Yeah.
all.
Songs? Wow.
It really does.
You're like the Dos Equis
I
guy.
actually wrote a lyric back in 1976 that went top 40. And
Really?
yeah,
Really?
it was one of those young and dumb and learning experiences because I didn't get anything out of it.
Right.
But it's kind of like it told me at the time, I was all of 19 years old, and I said, wow, I can do this. So, I just kept pursuing it, and I've had the great opportunity to write with some really great people. I've written songs with John Nelson, who played with Eddie Money for several years,
Sweet.
and Carmine Apiece, who was
Love him.
Carmine's
wow.
awesome.
Good Lord.
Just a lot of people.
Yeah.
And one guy I went to high school with, his name's Mark Brainerd, and he does a lot of folk music and stuff like that, and rock and roll too. He's actually in 3 bands. Him and I have written songs together for 40 years.
Good Lord.
Yeah, we're like the Rodgers and Hammerstein
I love it.
of our generation. But it's more of a hobby,
Yeah.
really. I've never really pursued it for
Sure.
a career, but I've been really honored to be part of Kaylee's album.
No
Thank
kidding.
you, Kaylee, very much. And it was a fun process. So
It's awesome. You all have got to check this out. Now, can they go buy it anywhere? Just Kaylee.
Amazon, we look on Amazon, iTunes. It's going to be going up next week. It'll be up
Beautiful.
on Amazon, iTunes. I almost forgot. We have a website that's going to launch on December 4th. It's www.christmasmusicstars.com.
Oh, that's a good name.
ChristmasMusicStars.com.
Yeah,
Love
and
it.
on that website will be all the information about our Christmas CD. We'll have little bios of all the artists and stuff. There'll be a click to buy link for the CD.
Sweet.
Once they click to buy the Christmas CD, it'll open up a click to buy Kaylee's CD and other artist material and so on. So
Love
it's
it.
it's exciting.
Real
Very
exciting. Oh.
Once again, www.christmasmusicstars.com.
Loving it. You need to go check it out. This is hot stuff here. I like it a lot. You know what? It's 12:51. I'm Big Ben now. Ding dong. Greg, let's share about Hawaii.
What do you wanna
Oh
know?
my God, you were a madman there. This man was all over the place like a hobo on a bologna sandwich. It was nuts. This is one networking crazy man.
No, I was there, and I need to finish my video for her. Actually, I was there filming
That's
to
true.
do a speaker series. So that's what was part of my getting me over there. So I was
Yeah.
working. for
And
10
he
days.
actually filmed me. I
did.
put a camera in his hand.
Well, the camera was sitting on the table, and you were doing your accolades, so I figured we should at least get some footage.
And it
but
was awesome footage when I went back and looked at it. Dude, you killed it. Cool perspective.
That's good to know that I can still know how to shoot a camera or run a camera.
You
But
did.
no, I think Hawaii was really good. I mean, look, Barack Obama came out, he came for a day, and then he went out to Guam Island with Sylvia Earle. It was the East-West Sustainability Summit, which was the largest philanthropy group of, 20 billionaires that came together to look at how they can make a difference in the world and how they can, put their money back into the environment. And IUCN, which most people don't know, which is a international, what's the acronym for IUCN? International United Confederation.
Oh my Lord, am I
we should look
losing
that up.
my
But
mind?
it's one of the largest
Yes, it's
environmental conservatories, and happens every 4 years.
Yep.
So it's pretty much going to be the magnet, and it was the first time that it was on U.S. soil.
Yep.
So for me, it was really an honor. I don't know if I think I was just part of the parcel of just when you're at a large consortium. And I'll give accolades to my partners, Chip Cummins and Sally Rainey, who do our day, the Aspen Renewable Energy Summit in Aspen.
Nice.
They had a footprint into IUCN in terms of helping and moderating panels. So I think when you go with people that are part and parcel of that conference and speaking, and it definitely makes a difference.
It does. It was a lot of energy, a lot of amazing people, a lot of action plans. Do you know what I learned from it? It's all going to be independence that save this planet.
Yeah, well, I think that's the thing I was going to mention. I was going back to Standing Rock. When we did our event in Central Park this year, which was interesting, someone asked me to do a Native Indian blessing, because we were doing our event was called Make Peace with Nature. And I thought about it. I was like, we're going to do an indigenous blessing. And I turned around and I agreed with my partner, John Quigley, that we were going to do it. And what was really interesting is when we actually paid the person, which I did, to do the particular indigenous blessing, there was a sundog that rose in the sky in New York.
Wow.
So it's just really interesting, the connection between the indigenous people that they have to the lands.
Yes.
And then actually what surfaced. Because I think John said he's done it before and he's seen it before, and they're very rare.
Right.
And for me, that was a very rare occurrence.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I think, there is this deep connection about what it is to be an environmental steward and really to walk the talk.
That's it.
And we only have one planet. And like you said, it's a blue planet. So I think we just got to do the right thing.
You know what? You just got to be conscious. And this is where we move into one thing. If you don't have money and you don't know where to put your energy, do one thing. Don't get plastic bags at the store anymore.
Yeah.
Carry your own water bottle. That's a critical factor. What was it? I just saw that there's so many water bottles that that are trash.
In the ocean?
It circled the planet twice or three times.
No, that's like
It's
don't know.
insanity.
It's the idea of the football. It's football fields.
It's insane.
It's like garbage. We just, the thing I think about that, which is really, it's a simple thing. It's out of sight, out of mind.
That's it.
We don't see it, so therefore we don't think it's a problem.
Yep,
It's
right.
just like with Standing Rock.
Mhm.
It's not in your living room,
That's
so
it.
therefore it's extensive. It's not here.
Exactly.
But I think that's really when you become, connected. You realize you don't have to be there.
That's it. Exactly. You just got to be conscious. Remember, if you've got kids, you've got grandkids, think about what you're doing today. So here's what I'm going to say. If you see a piece of trash, just pick it up and put it in a receptacle. If everybody did just one piece of trash a day, it would make tremendous differences. Don't turn a blind eye. That's all I'm going to say about it. I could go off on a rampant here. Greg, spank them.
Yeah, no. I just want to say one thing. You're an incredible artist, Kaylee. Thanks.
so much.
And the other thing, I just want to because we're giving out URLs to go to www.rootedinpeace.com. You can actually see where the film, which I don't really plug too much, where it's playing. Beside LA, it'll be in New York 12/16 through the 23rd. We'll have that week run, and it also goes out to Columbus, Ohio. And then there'll be other theaters around the country as well. I think it's coming to Florida, which should be interesting. But again, we'll be at the Royal Lemley in Santa Monica. So those that are listening at 7:00, we'll be doing a Q&A, and we just love for people to experience Rooted in Peace.
I like it a lot. And go to rootedinpeace.com. It's pretty amazing. You've won Impact Docs Award on that, correct?
Yeah, I also got another award. It's funny about all these awards and these trophies. I don't know what it all means. I just think it's like, there are awards and there's box office.
Right.
I think that I'd rather see the more the box office,
yeah.
go up. But I will say we just won another award that we're going to announce in about 2 weeks.
Nice.
That came out of the UK as well. And then
Congrats.
we've also been nominated for a United Nations DPI award, which will be announced. Hopefully we've been nominated. We'll see how that works out in April if we win, and then we'll see how we're rolling the dice, in terms of qualifying for the 2017 Oscars. So my big thing is, this is hopefully people will actually see the film. I think when people actually see the film, it actually works. So I think that's the hard part. I think there's a lot of content out there. So it's really like, how do you weed it out?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Real quick before we go, I want to say with the URLs again.
Yes.
On Facebook, everybody please follow Kaylee on Facebook, Kaylee Stallings official fan page. And you can also follow AA&M Promotions. And it'll keep you up to date on everything happening.
What about Paris 5000?
Paris 5000 is also, actually, Paris 5000 is www.paris5000, and that's PARIS 5000.com.
I like that name. Where did that come from?
Oh, that's a story that Michael has to tell.
Yeah, and that's for another show,
That's
and everybody
another
be
show.
invited back. So
I got you the hook to come back,
That's
right?
it.
That's
'Cause
exactly what that
You gotta
is.
love Paris.
Oh,
right?
yeah. And so you can go to www.rockersforwildlife.com. You can go to our Facebook page. You can also go to my personal page. That's Paul Lee Paget. And you can go to Paul Paget Photography, and you can see all my global stuff. I'm changing it out. I've got a bunch of new stuff going on there. It's gotten a little ripe, might you say, so it's time for some new stuff. All my Fiji stuff. Finally got to it and started editing all of it. So let's do wonderful things. Let's go out and
Happy holidays, Paul.
happy holidays
Yes,
to
happy
you all.
holidays.
By the way,
everybody.
kudos for the Christmas CD, right?
And-
Like
Oh my God.
keeping the holiday cheer going.
Yeah, it's been great to be a part of.
Yeah.
It's been absolutely incredible.
It has been incredible, and I appreciate everybody coming on board. And
Because Christmas comes
Kaylee,
every year.
that's right.
It never goes out of style.
I'm hoping your new
Stocking
song turns out to be the new Frosty the Snowman staple.
I would love
And
that.
Boy, that would be
Dad,
nice.
thanks
Yes.
for coming and bringing her. We appreciate everybody. And you know what? We're going to sign off. This is Rockers for Wildlife. We're going to be back here next Wednesday. We've got a hot lineup as usual, and it's going to be fun. We're moving towards Christmas. The holiday cheers in. Go by and get you a Starbucks pumpkin. Y'all take care. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
You're listening to Rockers for Wildlife Radio with Paul Paget, only on LA Talk Radio.